Assalamu alaikum, brother. Thank you for writing to our live session. I'm really sorry to hear about what you're going through with your dad and the situation with your family. It sounds like, he's a good person, basically. You state that he's done a lot for you, and, sometimes when he's quiet, he stays to himself, but he's also very dangerous. You state that he regularly threatens you, and he, swears at you. He mistreats your mother. He never talks normally or helps guide. And you feel that, his anger is just pressurized inside of him. And you state that he's criticized you since childhood and has had a really negative effect on your life. And understandably so, right? I mean, parents are supposed to be loving to their children, kind, upbuilding, encouraging. They're supposed to provide guidance, but that guidance should be in a loving way. With that said, my dear brother, please don't take this personally, right? I know that's hard to do because you're his son. However, he's also abusing your siblings mentally and your mom, and it's having an effect on them as well. So it's not like, your father doesn't love you or he doesn't care about you. He just has his own problems, obviously. Usually when people are emotionally or mentally abusive to others and mean and cruel, it's because they don't like themselves, or they have, unresolved trauma or issues within themselves. And oftentimes, especially like when men are emotionally abusive or withdrawn, it's often leading to a lack of self-confidence, or feeling that they're not enough, or feeling that they're not man enough or husband enough, or whatever the case may be. It usually reflects back on them, right? It has nothing to do with anything wrong that you're doing or your mom or your siblings, but it's something within your dad that has never been fixed, and is pressurized inside of him, and he's taking it out on the people that are closest to him that he loves. Now, with that said, this is not negating his behavior, right? His behavior is haram, it's cruel, and it's damaging, and it needs to be stopped. With that said, it's a lot easier to say it than actually, progress to stopping it. However, you do not deserve to live in an environment where you feel unsafe and where you're being emotionally and mentally abused. And neither does your mother or your siblings, right? So in this situation, your dad needs help. And probably, you and your mom and your siblings should get counseling as well, to help deal with the trauma and the hurt and the pain and the abuse that you all have been going through for so long. Because it does take an effect on you. You know what I'm saying? Just one event of trauma, it has an effect, and a compilation of traumas and abuses and negativity over a period of time definitely has an effect. So, brother, I kindly suggest that you do seek out mental health counseling in your area. And additionally, I suggest, inshallah, that if possible, talk to your mom and see if there's any way that you can get you and your dad and your mom and your siblings involved in family counseling in your area. Now, I'm not really sure where you live or the availability of that, but please do check it out. Another option is to get family counseling through your imam at the masjid. Imams are equipped to help with family issues, or refer families to valid and reliable resources for counseling when there's a need or there's a danger. But in the meantime, please don't take this personally. I understand you feel so tired and sad, and you've been suffering through this since childhood. But there can be a resolution, right? Now, if once you've tried to engage your family in family counseling or get counseling for yourself, inshallah, that will help, to change things and heal the family, especially your father. Because this behavior can't go on, the abuse. It's very, very toxic and unhealthy. So inshallah, he will be agreeable to address some of his issues in order to rebuild an Islamic foundation for his family, right? Now, he's Muslim, and he should know that these behaviors are haram. He should know that the way he treats his family is haram. And inshallah, he needs to understand that Allah is not pleased with this behavior and the way he's treating his family. He will be held accountable for this, right? So, inshallah, please do, seek counseling. Talk to your mom about family counseling. If that's not an option, talk to the imam at your masjid about the situation and see, if there can be an intervention or counseling provided there. And in the meantime and afterwards, of course, pray to Allah, ask for Allah's guidance and mercy, ask Allah, to please help resolve your situation and give you strength to go on. And also ask Allah to please, restore your self-esteem, your self-confidence, and your self-love. Because in abusive situations, that takes a beating, right? It's hard to maintain good self-confidence and self-esteem when you're constantly being berated and constantly living in fear. So, that's another issue that you may have to deal with down the road when things are resolved. Lastly, if none of these options work, brother, you may want to reach out to other family members in the area or beyond to see if you could possibly stay with them to escape and avoid this abuse. I'm not sure how well that will go over with your family because you're 16 and I'm not real familiar with the laws there. However, if there is a family member that you can stay with temporarily until things get resolved, if they don't want to go for counseling, that may be an option too. And the point of that is to give you a reprieval, right? To give you some peace, to give you time to, get yourself together, to re-strengthen your faith, to re-strengthen your sense of self, your sense of self-love and confidence, and, really build yourself up. And that's going to be really important moving forward because you're a teen right now. And as you, get older, you don't want to carry this with you, right? You want to fully realize and actualize and live in the realm of who you are, a wonderful, pious, valued young man, right? So please, think about these tips and see if there's, one that appeals to you more than the other, one that may work more than another one, and please do pursue these avenues to resolve the situation. And again, this is haram, and you should not be, living in this type of an environment. It's toxic. And one more point regarding your mom. I know you probably really worry about her because she's going through the mental and emotional abuse as well. So perhaps, there are resources for her as well in the area or in the masjid, a sisters group or counseling or something to help her as well. So please do not despair. You're not alone. Sadly, very sadly, this is a common problem in families today on a global basis. And you're not the only one going through this. But you are very important, and so is your mental health, your spiritual health and growth, and you as a person. Allah loves you. Don't ever forget that. And inshallah, the situation will be resolved. but you have to start to take some steps to resolve it. We wish you the best.